Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here early in the morning on Tuesday, November 5th. Well, early I have to take my wife Betty to the doctor this morning, so I had to do an early one this morning. Anyway, I'll have to do a video later on you ladies with the talcum powder that can't even get any money of it because you got hysterectomies because you got what, cervical cancer. So I'll do one later on that. But this one is an answer to a Mrs. Marianne Mahaffey. I think I pronounced that right, Mahaffey, who sent me a nice email saying, "Dear Mr. Alien," boy, that's nice and polite. I saw your video on President Trump's impeachment. She didn't mention which one she saw, but I don't get you. You don't want him impeached, and you want him to get away with everything? What? Richard Nixon got away with everything, and why should this president get away with everything? Well, let me answer you, Miss Mahaffey. It's not that I don't want President Trump to get away with everything. It's just that the Constitution allows him to. And the Democrats of today are not the Democrats of 1974. And the media of today is not the media of 1974 either. Today, you got media outlets like CNN, MSNBC, maybe ABC, definitely The View under Joey Behar, and probably Whoopi Goldberg too, who want him crucified. You know, they're looking for a Jesus Christ in the 21st century here, is what they're doing. Every one of them is looking for Jesus Christ. Let's take him to the Calvary and put him to the cross. But they don't understand their Constitution doesn't work that way. And here it is the problem, Miss Mahaffey. Let me give you an example. They want to crucify the administration. So they want to impeach not only President Trump, but Vice President Pence. Because they're saying everybody in the administration knew about this hanky-panky going on over there in Iran. I mean, over there in Ukraine. Well, uh, there's a lot more serious crimes have been done than this. A lot of presidents have done this. President Trump is the only one that's actually got caught with his hands in a cookie jar. Well, President Nixon did, but he did a lot more serious things than President Trump. President Trump was playing politics, domestic politics, with an international official and using money as a, okay, you do this, you do that. A lot of presidents have done that. You just haven't caught them at it. Bet you President Eisenhower did it when he bribed the Israelis, the French, and the British to get out of Egypt in there, because he's the one that pushed them out of there in 1956. And one of the serious things that you guys never talk about, President Nixon became president on January 20th, 1969. In that time, the United Nations seat of China was held by nationalist China, otherwise known as Taiwan. From 1949 to 1969, it had held the seat. Mind you, that they were stupid in the first place to give it to China, right? Yeah. But then you got this president here who is playing hanky-panky politics with international affairs. And he figures, oh, let's play chess instead of poker, which most presidents was playing poker with the Soviet Union. So he says, hey, I don't care if we have a war with China from the Korean War that's still an armistice, but we're technically at war with China. Communist China, that is. So in 1969, he had this, not even American, he is a paper American, Henry Kissinger, who goes out and becomes his advisor, national security advisor, which means he is like Giuliani becoming his personal attorney, okay? So from 1969, they start playing hanky-panky with communist China. Hey, you guys have a disagreement with the Soviet Union, right? Yeah. But what if we give you a big stage to make that disagreement better? That way we have a card to play against the Soviet Union. We'll pit you against the Soviet Union. We didn't tell that to Mao Zedong, though. But this is what he was thinking. We'll pit communist China against the Soviet Union. That way they'll have to put some forces in the Chinese border. And what's a better way to do that? Well, those nationalist Chinese under Chiang Kai-shek, which was still in power at the time, are stupid. And we were stupid to give them a seat in the United Nations with veto power. Now, Richard Nixon was even more stupider than President Truman at the time, when the United Nations was created in 1945. Well, it was really President Roosevelt that did this. But President Truman should have stopped it. But anyway, back to the story. Here, President Nixon did a hanky-panky and went to the United Nations and arm-fisted through Henry Kissinger the member states. So in 1971, the United Nations voted to oust nationalist China, otherwise known as Taiwan, and give the seat to communist China. So from 1971 to the present, the communist Chinese have had that seat in the United Nations and have been a lot of problems for a lot of people with their veto. Now they can are cozy with the Russians. So 2 out of the 5 veto powers are there. And then you have the French, which, they go their own way. So, you can get another one and you get 3 out of 5. Bingo, you got veto power and the United States is stuck. Why? Because it's your guys' mess. And then he went even further than that. He had Kissinger behind the Secretary of State's Rogers' noses, flying secretly to China to open diplomatic relations. Then he flew to Beijing with you guys and total yippee-yahoo-hee in 1972. Didn't you guys know what you were getting into? I was a kid at the time, and I used to say, why, you Americans are dumb. So you see, Miss Mahaffey, President Trump is not the only one that's done stupid stuff like this. And President Nixon has done way more bad stuff than this, and he got away with it. And if you don't do something about President Trump and stop this impeachment and do what I say the best thing to do with President Trump is the consensus of 2020. Read my other videos with the consensus of 2020. That's the only way you're going to stop this. Otherwise, you're heading for a disaster, constitutional disaster on your country and a coup d'etat. Because eventually you're going to have Nancy Pelosi as president. This is your favorite alien. Good day.